Hi Dane, it's Kat. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. Yourself?
I'm fine. So yous have been together around 18 months now?
Yeah, as Black Fox we've been together around 18 months, and three of us played together in The Smoke for about 3 years as well, and we've sort of been friends long before that.
The double-sided single, Day in Lieu and Monarchs, your first release as Black Fox?
Yeah, that's it. So that's the first one. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then we've got the album, which is all finished, which will be coming out later on in the year.
And you put it out on vinyl as well?
Yeah, and so the single's out on vinyl and a digital download. So it's on basically iTunes and vinyl, and the vinyl comes with a free download. And then the album will be on CD, vinyl, and download as well.
When is the album due out?
It'll be in the middle of the year sometime. At the moment, we've just put out the first single, and we're just sort of deciding as to whether or not we're going to do a second single and then the album, or if we'll maybe just do the album straight away. So we're just kind of deciding on that.
Where did the name Black Fox actually come from?
It was one of those things when we started up the band, you got to come up with a band name. And so we all kind of were tossing around different names, and there are a lot of good ones that we really liked, but the problem was that there was either a band that had an almost identical band name, or there was a band somewhere else in the world that had that band name. And so Black Fox was just on a list of band names that I sent through to the other guys, and everyone seemed to like it, and then it wasn't taken, which was good. But the idea behind it, black foxes are a really rare type of fox. It's kind of one of those things, they only crop up. It's almost like albinos in species, really. There aren't very many of them within the fox world, and so they're very rare sightings in the UK, and there's only been a few sightings of them ever in Australia. So it seemed like a really nice kind of name.
Where would you like to see yourself in 5 years, or have you got a plan for giving up the day job?
We don't really plan on anything else what we can control. So you can kind of control, doing a record, and you can decide that you want to do this and you want to do that, but it's hard to say, we're going to do music full time, or we're going to give up the day job, or reach this level of success, because it's largely dependent on how other people judge your music and whether or not they like it, and we can't really control that.
See, that's the English attitude. The American bands always have a plan.
Yeah, that's probably true. Well, we write our songs for us, and we basically write the songs that we really want to hear. So we write the stuff basically primarily for us, and then hope that other people like it, rather than trying to. I don't think you can write anything too good if you're trying to write stuff for other people, because you can't do it. You don't know what other people like, so you're best just putting yourself into your music and hope that some other people like it as well.
So you've got some gigs coming up. You're going to be playing in June in Sydney and Paran and Adelaide.
Yep.
Is that all you've got at the moment? Is that to launch your album then, do you think?
At the moment, those gigs will be mainly focusing on the 7-inch, so we'll be kind of promoting the 7-inch and selling that at the shows, and then we'll tee up a big lot of national dates once the album's out. So we'll have a big album in probably Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane, and then we'll do some other shows around the country as well. And we'd like to get down to... in the past, we've played regional shows in Victoria, and I've always loved playing the regional areas. So, they're not that regional, but places like, Geelong and Traralgon. We'd love to get down to Ballarat and, those kind of places, Torquay. They're really fun places to play.
Well, you're quite welcome in Ballarat, and you're quite welcome in the studio as well.
Oh, that's good to hear.
What's your favourite experience so far about being in the band?
I think it's definitely putting out records. With the last band that we played in as well, we put out records, and you typically spend about a year, working on a record and recording it and playing gigs, and that's always a pretty hard slog of a year, because you don't see many rewards for your efforts, and people know that you're in a band and they'll be saying, oh, what are you up to and everything, and say, oh, we're working on this record, and it seems like you're working on it forever. And then, when you finally get to put it out, you get to see the fruits of your labour a bit. So you get to, read reviews of it, and you get to, do interviews like this, and you get to play launch shows, which are, more fun than regular shows. And there's just a lot more excitement going on, and lots of, press and stuff, hopefully. And so that, I think, is the funnest part of being in a band. That's the stuff I really look forward to.
It's good to hear you enjoy doing the interviews because a lot of people find it a bit tedious.
No, I love them. I really enjoy it. I've been doing all of them recently for the band, and yeah, I really enjoy it. I really like supporting all the community stations as well because I feel like they're really the basis of a lot of indie music in Australia. I think that's where, a lot of the indie music gets played. And so it's nice to be able to support them because they support us. And so it's great getting down to the indie stations and the community stations and doing interviews.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given about being in a band and music?
I don't know. I've never really received all that much advice from people, really. I think you kind of work it out for yourself a bit. I think if you're into music to be successful or with any kind of serious ambitions, you're kind of in it for the wrong reason because you can't guarantee that's going to happen, and so it'll leave you disappointed. But if you're doing music because you love it and you're writing the songs that you really want to write and you're injecting lots of your own personality and emotion into the music, then regardless of the level of success that you reach, you'll always find it very satisfying. I always try and just focus on what I want to do and writing the best songs that I can and the songs that I want to hear.
I'm guessing you've probably been given a lot of advice, but you're doing this, like you said, for your own reasons, so you haven't taken it in too much.
There's a lot of people that talk a lot of nonsense in the music industry, and yeah, there's no shortage of people that will talk that nonsense in your direction, but you've just got to stick with what you want to do, I think.
So if you were giving advice to a band that was just starting out, that would probably be it? Yeah,
I'd say so. There was an interview I saw recently with Liam Gallagher from, formerly Oasis.
Yeah.
And this was in the Oasis days, and they were sitting there doing this interview with him, and they said, "So, Liam, what advice would you give to new up-and-coming bands?" And he just turned into the camera and said, "Stay out of my effing way." Loved that answer. I thought that was so cool. But I think more than anything, if you're a new band, just do it, but do it for yourself, and then you'll always be happy with it.
We better give out your website, hadn't we?
Yeah. Our website is weareblackfox.com, and if people head there, they can find links to where they can buy our music and they can listen to the music for free and see if they like it. And there's lots of content up there. We've got a blog that we keep really up to date with all nature of things. There's plenty of stuff that's not musical related. So even if you just want to read a few interesting tales of misadventure, you can find them up there. And there's lots of photos. And we're quite big fans of urban exploration. And we're quite into photography. I wouldn't say we're great photographers, but yeah, one of the things we like doing is going to sort of like abandoned places and photographing them. And there's some photos up there of when we went to Japan last year. And we explored an abandoned theme park that's in Japan. And it's a theme park that's quite literally the size of Disneyland. And it was actually based on Disneyland. And it was opened in the 60s and it shut down in 2006. And when they shut it down, it's almost as if they literally just closed the door that afternoon and then just walked away and never came back. And so everything is there exactly as it was. The arcade room is still filled with all the arcade machines. There's the monorail still there, the roller coasters, the water park, everything. But the trees have started to grow over everything and reclaim it all a bit. And we were sort of wandering around there at midnight, and it was very spooky. There were crows flying over and swings kind of creak in the wind, and everything seems big and scary. And it was a really spooky but cool place. And so there's some really great photos of that. They're not actually great photos. They're all just taken on rubbish cameras, but they're interesting photos to look at.
Have you actually made a film clip?
No, we're in the process of making a film clip. It's just been something, we've been so busy with doing the music and other things that we haven't got around to doing film clips too much. But, I mean, we tend to do all our music ourselves and record all ourselves, and we're the same with the video clips. So we've just been a matter of coming up with an idea, which we've got now. So we're just in the process of filming a couple at the moment.
Well, I think one day you should write a song inspired by that Japanese theme park at midnight and then go over there and film a film clip there.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. Every time we tell people about that story, everyone says, "Wow, what a great place for a film clip," and it really would be. It'd just be a bit logistically difficult, but it would be great.
I look forward to talking to you again when you release the album. Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to.
Okay, then have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.